is trust in the good of people. Because so much of these nefarious plans require us to assume that our neighbors and other people are bad. And politics is one of the biggest dividers because every group, Republican or Democrat, there's so much evil on both sides that, you know, I'm on the right of politics, but I could understand how when I say that, someone could immediately see, you know, the Dan Crenshaw evils, the Bush evils and stuff, and associate that with me, and vice versa. Someone else could be a Democrat because their family has been in the unions for 80 years, and I see Hillary Clinton eating a baby, and they see someone who's trying to get their grandfather fired from a fucking factory and move it overseas. So there's certain things like politics is just, it's almost designed for people to hate each other for literally no reason. There is no Republican who became a Republican because he just wanted someone to pass the Patriot Act. There's no Republican that just was dying for someone to speak up on behalf of Israel. People don't become a Democrat because they just want to eat the babies. You know, there's evil on both sides doing all this shit, you know, but it's always operating out of the fear of the other, right? So, like the union workers on the left are scared that someone's going to break their union and scabs will work for no money or they'll ship their jobs to China. That's a fucking valid fear. But, you know, someone on the right would look at someone with a union and see, oh, you're going to force me to pay union dues that'll go to Hillary fucking Clinton so she can steal more kids from Haiti. You understand? That in general, every human being is just trying to feed their fucking kids. The gay. And, you know, I don't know. Can't be good without God. It's right. This live stream is jamming me. I don't care. Good points about politics. I can't stand the red versus blue. And it's becoming more obvious, this election. This election is starting to become more obvious that it's not left versus right. It's nationalism versus empire. Because you have empire and nationalist right and empire and nationalist left. It's almost 4 quadrants. It's not 2. And that's why the binary constantly keeps people in a state of trauma. Because if you say, who's the right answer, the right or the left? It's like, well, what do you mean? You know, Dan Crenshaw and AOC are on the same side. You know? And I find that very interesting. You know, the economics of the left and the economics of the right are very different. But when you see when you see politicians advocating for global control, and I saw that with Crowder. Like when Crowder defended Tulsi Gabbard, her YouTube censorship, not even that she was kicked off, but that her algorithms were off. But yet he didn't defend me when I was kicked off permanently. I was like, oh, so there is no Democrat and Republican. It's simply, are you for the New World Order, which Crowder is all about? Are you for the American empire? And guys, it's not going to work. It's not even working now. If they want to start a war with Iran, guys, we could lose. America is not what it used to be as far as military strength. You know, over half the population wants nothing to do with this shit. And the ones that do are pretty much being tricked. Trump brought red versus blue back. Not really. I think Trump is one of the reasons that people are seeing things now. And I don't know if it's intentional or not. But Trump doesn't fit a category very well, and he's not LARPing. He's blatantly corrupt. And he's blatantly controlled by Zionism. Every single American president since Woodrow Wilson has been controlled by Zionism and banking. Every single one, without exception. Trump is the first one who shows you the system will collapse. We should have nothing to do with that. Right, but like it's not our job to collapse the system. My New Year's resolution is to try, and I know this won't be easy because I think about this sometimes. I know we all do. But to stop thinking in terms of systems and the dollar and the Bilderberg, and I just, none of it. Vox talks about how they're whales thrashing in the ocean and we're just minnows watching, trying to find the best place to be. Trump is a Jew shield, but better than any president. Yeah, definitely. Well, it's just because he's obviously a shill. He's like, hey, everybody, it's good to be here. Our biggest threat is anti-Semitism. I'm saying that because of the money that guy gave me. It's great. And nobody's buying the anti-Semitism narrative. Nobody. I don't know a single person with the actual problems that humans have now. You know, it's so sad. Like health problems, family problems, you know, fear of their jobs, debt, you know, lack of faith, just confusion, fear, you know. The last fucking thing on anybody's mind is the emotions of Jews. Not one human being, I bet, in this chat has ever witnessed anyone just go up and like hit a Jewish person because they're Jewish. That threat is completely media created. And it's so obvious now. Because once people started seeing that 9/11 wasn't as they said it was, that the greatest, biggest media things in history have been corrupted. You think people believe in like, oh, like that rabbi who got stabbed, that could have easily been a botched bike robbery. I mean, it was a bike thief who stabbed him. Why are so many blacks smacking up the small hats? You don't know. Where did you hear that? Okay, 2020 is all about believing nothing you see on the media. Nothing. Yeah, it's like that guy was trying to steal a bike, and a rabbi was like, oh, not my bike. I think Trump acts out of self-interest, but the USA is part of the self-interest. He's not selling us out to globalism. I have no idea. Because I can't change it, and it is what it is. It just is what it is. And our job, you know, to stay in our lane. I stayed in my lane as a comedian, and it really confused a lot of people. When people said, oh, Benjamin's lost his mind. He's intentionally insulting people and going on rants. If you look up the definition of a comedian, I'm pretty sure it's intentionally insulting people and going on rants. It's like, who's your favorite comedian? Well, I love that George Carlin who used to offend people intentionally and go on all those rants. But this Owen Benjamin, I think it blew people's mind that I stayed in my lane. Do you know how many people have said, you should start a church, or you should get into politics, or you should really be the voice? I'm like, I am a fucking comedian. If I became anything else, like if I was an actual religious leader or the voice of the youth, I couldn't swear. I couldn't say fuck. I couldn't tell the whole truth anymore of what I think every single, like I love that I can sit here and say whatever I want, because that's the exact role of the comedian. So many other jobs have tried to just go in and out of their career or go in and out of their role and just like become a comedian and then not be a comedian. And then it's like, no, what I'm doing at no point is not what the comedian does. The comedian does social commentary, political commentary. They say offensive things. They leave they don't have any protected classes, because if you do, you can't make fun of anybody. The comedian will insult you. The comedian will go on rants. The comedian will yell. The comedian will talk shit to people. The comedian will insult people. That's exactly what the comedian does. And in this crazy time when everybody is just, you know, they're not holding the line, the fact that I was holding like Bill Nye was a comedian. And now he's trying to tell you about physics and biology. Ben Shapiro crosses the line. And so when he doesn't understand that, he's like, anti-Semitic moon landing conspiracy rants, but he's acting like I'm a politician. Like he's acting like I'm a middle school. Like that's literally what I do. He's a buffoon. He's in the political world. He's in the media world. He's a jackass, a little clip dick fuckface. And guess who's allowed to say that? Me.